What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's episode, I will be talking about the 3 hacks to get better sleep. And no, these aren't actually hacks, but 3 ways to improve your sleep quality so you can get better results. Because as I talk about all the time, sleep is the foundation of health. So if your sleep sucks, your body composition is not going to be great. Your performance isn't going to be great. Your health isn't going to be great. So fix it. Prioritize it. That's going to make everything else a whole lot easier. And I've been talking to a lot of clients about this recently, especially with daylight savings time. If you don't live in a place that does that, you're lucky. If you do, like me, it sucks. But that's okay. I am grateful that now we have more sunlight after work hours. That is nice, but I do hate the fact that it's like having jet lag. And I think like a 12-hour jet lag, when you go somewhere where it's like a 12-hour difference or more, it's easier to adjust to that. When you have like 1 to 2 to 3 hour difference, it's really hard to get back into it. So, anyway, yeah, so sleep. But before I dig in, just wanted to thank you if you've been enjoying the show. If you could rate the show, subscribe, share the show. That just helps me get in front of more people, which helps me help more people, which is the goal of this show. But let's dig in. Hack number 1. Have a consistent bedtime. Consistent bedtime, consistent wake time. Implement some sort of a ritual around bedtime so it tells your body to get ready. Have some sort of structure around bedtime because our bodies have a biological clock. So our bodies get used to things. I have a lot of clients that come to me and they're like, I'm not hungry in the morning. And I'm like, it's because you don't eat breakfast and you haven't eaten breakfast for years. That doesn't mean we should keep not doing that. Our bodies adapt. Our bodies are very adaptable and they get a sort of routine and structure. And the more optimized your routine and structure is, the better quality sleep and things you get out of it. So that's kind of a weird way to put it. But essentially, if you go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, your sleep quality is going to be better. You're going to have more energy. And really, every other part of your day is going to be improved as well. Because, as I said, our bodies run on a biological clock. We have a circadian rhythm that is natural, that includes like digestion. It affects your digestion. It affects your energy levels, your hormone levels, your peaks and dips of stress hormone, and all those fun things. So if you have a consistent sleep schedule, a consistent eating schedule, a consistent sort of routine that aligns with the sunlight, so that means like being up when the sun's up and being in bed when the sun is down, that's going to improve all biological markers. Your gut health, your energy levels, your hunger signals, your hormone profile, your performance. So anyway, but yeah, picking a sleep time and sticking to it's going to get your body to adapt to that. And it's just going to make getting to bed a lot easier. It's going to make the quality of sleep that you get when you are in bed a lot better. And I'm not like perfect at this by any means, but I do get to bed around the same time every night, around 9 p.m. Sometimes I'm really tired. I get to bed a little bit earlier, and sometimes I get distracted and I get to bed a little bit later, but usually it's between probably 8:30 to 9:30. And then I sleep about 7 to 7.5 hours, depending on the phase of my menstrual cycle, because depending on the phase, your body needs more rest, and certain times of the month I need more sleep. Anyway, but yeah, so I wake up around the same time every day too, between 4 to 5, depending on when I go to bed and how much sleep my body needs. And that really works well for me. I feel well rested and energized in that time in the morning. So anyway, point being, ever since I've stuck to a consistent-ish sleep schedule, my quality of sleep has improved, my energy levels throughout the day have improved, my hunger signals have improved, and whenever things get thrown off, everything gets thrown off. So oftentimes with a lot of my clients, what we focus on is trying to create some structure around sleeping and sleep routine and sleep schedule, because that's going to help them move the needle in all other categories. So anyway, hack number 1, have a consistent bedtime. And let's say right now you're going to bed all over the place. What can you actually do? I would take an average of all of those times and try that. And if you're going to bed between like 11 and 2 a.m. every day, then, you probably want to shift that closer to align with the sunlight and when the sun is out. I notice a lot of clients that do go to bed later and wake up later. They tend to have some digestive issues or some other health issues going on too, and we need the sunlight. I know some people that live in places that are cloudy or have less sunlight throughout the year will have seasonal affective disorder. It's basically like you're kind of depressed. And a lot of people have that. I have that. Some days when I can't get outside, there's a big storm or there's no sunlight, I get a lower mood, more depressed state. So the more sunlight that we get, the better everything else is. So it's best to align your sleep structure with the sunlight that's outside. And so anyway, so trying to do that will help a lot as well with all the other markers, because most people come to me not just to be healthy, but usually there's some aesthetic goal, like wanting to build muscle, lean out a little bit. And so to do that, these little nuances do kind of matter. Because if you're not in a great mood, you're probably not going to move as much. You're probably going to be less motivated to do the training, to make better food choices. If you have less energy, same thing. You're not going to move as much throughout the day. You're not going to have as good of energy levels to cook, to go train. So, point being, try to align your sleep schedule with the sun and slowly shift that sleep schedule back. If you don't already have one, or if your average is kind of late, like 1 a.m., midnight, I'd say 11 p.m. is a good spot for most people. Most people don't wake up that early. So if you're waking up at like 6 to 7, then 11 p.m. is a fine bedtime. If you're waking up around 5 a.m., I'd say latest I'd go to bed would be 10 p.m. because most adults need at least 7 hours of quality sleep. I know some adults that need 9 hours too, though. So it really depends on the levels of stress, the level of life that you're in, or the season of life that you're in. And again, if you have like small children or a child or whatever, this is going to be a lot more difficult. It'll be easier to have a sleep routine, but the child might wake you up in the middle of the night. But anyway, so pick a time, and if your time is not optimal, slowly shift it about 15 minutes each night or every couple nights. So if it's like 1 a.m. right now, for 3 nights, do 12:45. Then for 3 nights, do 12:30, all the way until you get to, what is optimal for you and what would work with your schedule best. So yeah, that's sleep hack number 1. Number 2, the 3-2-1 rule. I've talked about this quite a bit, but it is great. So oftentimes what I've noticed with coaching clients is cutting off your eating window 3 hours before bed will help improve sleep quality tremendously. Because if your body's digesting foods, 1, it's really uncomfortable, but 2, your body's focusing on digesting foods, not recovering and resting and repairing whatever else broke down. Maybe you trained hard that day. If you're eating right before bed, that's going to impair the quality of sleep that you can get. So if you haven't tried that, give that a try. Makes a huge difference. One of my clients we've been working on improving, she's been getting a lot of bloating, and just shifting her eating window, and leaving about 3 hours before bedtime of just no eating has tremendously improved the bloating and water retention that she has. She feels a lot better. Her quality of sleep has improved. Her energy levels have improved. She has less digestive issues now. So give that a try. And then 3, 2, 1, there's 3 things. I should have probably said that first. But 3 is eating window. 2 is drinking window. Oftentimes, a lot of my clients wake up in the middle of the night, and it's because they're drinking liquids until they go to bed. So if you cut off your drinking window, and I'm not talking about alcohol, I'm talking about water. In general, cutting out alcohol is going to improve all things. So I would recommend that if you tend to consume it frequently. But I just mean in general, any beverage. It could be tea. It could be water. I don't know. What do folks drink these days? Sparkling beverages, sparkling water. But if you're drinking those close to bedtime, you're probably going to have to wake up and go pee in the middle of the night. As we age, sometimes there is a hormone that our body produces that tells us to go to sleep and stay asleep and not wake up to pee. But as we age, sometimes that hormone is less strong. So some of my older clients still have this issue, but shifting the drinking window has helped. And so they wake up less throughout the night. So definitely give that a try if you're constantly waking up to pee. And if you're under the age of 50, that's not common. Well, it might be common, but that's not quote unquote normal. So try it and you will stop waking up. The number 3, 2, 1, 1. This is kind of a tough one, but there's a little bit of an actual hack that can help. But shut off all blue lights and overhead lights an hour before bed. So this can be kind of challenging given the day and age that we live in. So what I do is I have some right here, some blue light blocker glasses. It's not perfect, but my hobbies are in front of a computer. My husband and I like to play video games sometimes before bed together, or we watch a movie or a show or whatever. Because usually by the end of the day, I do not have the brain capacity to read a book. But I don't want to go to bed too early, so I do something to stay awake. So anyway, blue light blockers, great hack for that. And we have these lamps, these salt lamps that are red lights. And if a lamp is on the floor, so the part of the problem with the overhead lights is they kind of mimic sunlight. Our body doesn't know the difference. I mean, it kind of does, right? Sunlight gives us vitamin D. But it can kind of trigger the same thing that sunlight does. So if you have a bunch of bright lights on overhead, like right before bed, it's going to be really hard to unwind and calm down. Because if you think about it, like 100 years ago, maybe longer now, maybe 200 years ago, we did not have electricity. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. That's a long time ago. Yes. I don't remember when the light bulb was created. But anyway, 200 years ago or so, right? We did not have electronics or lights overhead. So when the sun went down, we had these little candles maybe. I really hope my reference is correct. Anyway, we had candles and maybe lamps or whatever, but they weren't overhead and they were red light. And they weren't super bright. So it signaled to our body, hey, it's time to unwind and go to bed. So I'm getting some like blue light blockers or even some like lamps, like floor lamps that emit like red light. Those would be a much better option and a much more realistic way to kind of tell your body it's kind of time to unwind, but also just like realistically, who's going to sit in the dark an hour before bed? Most people probably not. And again, you don't have to be perfect with these, but trying to do these consistently will drastically improve the quality of your sleep. And I realized I have actually 2 more. So it's 4 hacks to improve your sleep. But number 3, so that's the 3-2-1 rule. No eating 3 hours before bed, avoid drinking fluids 2 hours before bed, and turn off electronics an hour before bed. But rule number 3, or hack number 3, avoid caffeine about 8 hours before bed minimum. Usually I tell people cut off before noon. I did not listen to that rule today. I had some at 1 p.m., but that's okay. I usually do. So the earlier you can cut off your caffeine intake, the better quality sleep you'll have. Most people don't realize. So everybody has a different half-life when it comes to caffeine. And the half-life is like how long it takes for half of the amount to get out of your system. And so for some people don't metabolize caffeine that quickly, and it lingers for a while. So if that is you, you will notice a tremendous difference in your quality of sleep if you cut off caffeine about 12 hours before bedtime. I'm serious. You'll notice a drastic difference and improvement. And there's some people who it takes about 24 hours for caffeine to get out of your system. And if that's you, then I would really avoid it for the most part, unless, extenuating circumstances like you have to pull an all-nighter or drive across the country and you need the extra boost. But if that's the case, then there's some extenuating circumstances, because as a health coach, I wouldn't recommend that anyway. But and some people metabolize caffeine really quickly. So some people, it gets boom in and out of their system within a couple hours. So that's why this varies. But generally speaking, before noon is a great cutoff time. And if you want to be more conservative, I'd say 12 hours before bed. And you will notice a difference. And then hack number 4, this is a really quick one, but it makes a huge impact. This supplement will actually help improve the quality of your sleep, and it is magnesium. Most people are deficient in magnesium, and magnesium is a really important electrolyte for the sleep process. So if you're not taking any now, I'd start with about 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate and see if you notice a difference. If you don't, you could up the dose to 400. And some people aren't deficient, but over half the population is. So most likely you will be deficient in magnesium. So I definitely recommend it. I recommend Thorne and Nutridyne. Those are 2 great supplement brands, third-party tested, GMP certified, really good quality stuff. Legion's pretty good too. I'm trying to think of other brands. Don't just go to Costco and buy supplements and stuff. Go to a provider, like their actual website, and order from them. Because even Amazon too, sometimes people will put labels on things that aren't actually from the actual company, and they're mismarketed, and it's kind of dangerous. So yeah. But anyway, those are the 4 hacks. So if you haven't tried these already, they will help. If you're not doing these will help tremendously improve the quality of your sleep. If you are already doing these things and you're still noticing that the quality of sleep you have isn't great, and you wake up tired and chronically fatigued day in and day out, then there's probably something else going on under the hood. And I'd be more than happy to help you with that. I've had a lot of clients. They had some other underlying root cause issue that was causing poor sleep quality that we just had to address differently. So if that's something that you're struggling with and you'd like some help, you can book a discovery call in the show notes below, and I'd love to help you with that and just chat through, see if we'd be a good fit, and see what the coaching process would be like. But no pressure. But if you are struggling and you're like, I'm tired of not reaching my goals and I need some help and some guidance, I'd love to help you. So anyway, thank you for listening to this episode. If it was helpful, please rate the show, subscribe, and share it. That just helps me help more people, which is the goal of the show. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.